Sydney Sweeney is one of Hollywood's most compelling young actresses, known for her emotional intensity, striking screen presence, and sharp career strategy. But long before red carpets and global recognition, she was simply a determined young girl with a plan. Born on September 12, 1997, in Spokane, Washington, Sydney Bernice Sweeney grew up far from the glamour of Los Angeles. Raised in a disciplined household, her mother worked as a lawyer and her father had a medical background. Education and structure were priorities in her family, and acting was not initially part of the plan. Her journey began unexpectedly when an independent film audition came to her hometown. Instead of casually asking her parents for permission to pursue acting, Sydney created a detailed 5-year business plan presentation explaining how she could realistically build a career in the entertainment industry. That moment revealed something that still defines her today. She does not rely on hope, she relies on preparation. Convinced by her determination, her family made sacrifices and eventually relocated to Los Angeles so she could seriously pursue acting. The early years were anything but glamorous. Sydney attended auditions constantly, often hearing more rejections than callbacks. She landed small roles in popular television shows, such as Criminal Minds and Grey's Anatomy, appearing briefly but gaining valuable on-set experience. These roles were small stepping stones, but they allowed her to study seasoned actors, understand camera work, and sharpen her emotional range. While many young performers struggle with patience, Sydney treated every minor role as training for something bigger. Her first noticeable breakthrough came with the Netflix series Everything Sucks in 2018. Though the show lasted only one season, it gave her a platform and introduced audiences to her natural screen charisma. However, it was her role as Cassie Howard in HBO's Euphoria that truly transformed her career. Cassie was not a simple character. She was vulnerable, insecure, romantic, and emotionally fragile. Sydney delivered a performance filled with raw intensity and painful realism. Viewers connected deeply with Cassie's heartbreak and internal conflict, and social media quickly turned the character into one of the most discussed figures on television. The role demanded emotional bravery, and Sydney proved she was capable of carrying complicated material with authenticity. Instead of being typecast, she expanded her range by starring in HBO's critically acclaimed series, The White Lotus. In this satirical drama, she portrayed Olivia Mossbacher, a sharp and observant college student, navigating privilege and hypocrisy. The performance showcased a completely different side of her talent, controlled, intellectual, and subtly comedic. Critics praised her versatility, and award nominations followed, cementing her status as one of the most promising actresses of her generation. At the same time, Sydney began stepping into film. She appeared in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, gaining experience alongside established Hollywood stars. Though her role was brief, it placed her within a prestigious cinematic project and expanded her industry recognition. She continued building her filmography with leading roles in romantic comedies, dramas, and thrillers, demonstrating that she was not confined to one genre. What truly sets Sydney Sweeney apart from many rising stars is her business awareness. She has openly discussed the financial realities of Hollywood, explaining that steady income is not guaranteed even for recognizable actors. Rather than relying solely on acting roles, she founded her own production company, aiming to create opportunities instead of waiting for them. This move signaled her long-term vision. She was not just building fame, she was building control over her career. Outside of acting, Sydney has surprised fans with her passion for restoring vintage cars. She has documented her mechanical projects, revealing a hands-on hobby that contrasts sharply with her glamorous public image. This interest reflects her grounded personality and disciplined focus. She is not merely cultivating celebrity status. She is nurturing personal passions and skills beyond the spotlight. As her fame expanded, Sydney became a major presence in fashion and pop culture, Designers sought her for red carpet events, magazines featured her on covers, and global brands recognized her influence. Yet despite her rising visibility, she consistently emphasizes preparation and professionalism in interviews. She studies scripts intensely, writes detailed character backstories, and approaches roles with analytical precision. Directors have noted her commitment and work ethic, qualities that suggest longevity in an industry known for unpredictability. Like many public figures, she has faced scrutiny and online commentary, particularly surrounding the emotional weight and provocative themes of her television roles. Fame at a young age comes with intense public attention, but Sweeney has maintained composure. Rather than engaging in constant controversy, she redirects focus toward her work and growth. Her resilience under pressure reveals maturity beyond her years. Today, Sydney Sweeney represents a new era of Hollywood talent: ambitious, strategic, emotionally fearless, and business-savvy. She embodies the balance between artistic vulnerability and entrepreneurial intelligence. From a teenager presenting a 5-year plan to her parents, to an internationally recognized actress and producer, her journey illustrates the power of clarity and determination. Her story is still unfolding. With each new project, she takes creative risks and expands her range. She has already achieved milestones that many actors chase for decades, yet she continues to speak about long-term goals and sustained growth. In an industry driven by trends and rapid cycles of fame, Sydney's careful planning and discipline may be her greatest strengths. Sydney Sweeney's biography is not simply a story of rising stardom. It is a story of strategy, sacrifice, emotional courage, and relentless focus. She dreamed boldly, planned carefully, worked tirelessly, and stepped into the spotlight fully prepared. And if her journey so far is any indication, the most defining chapters of her career are still ahead.